Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio on this? Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it is the noon edition time for Welcome to My World. This is the 26th of February, and it is a Friday. And what do we know about Fridays? They can be a little difficult. And you never know what's going to happen because unless there's some really nice trending trades that you're really sure of, it's best not to be too anxious to do a lot of trading on Friday, particularly if you've had a good month, because lots and lots of traders will tell you that um, it just seems like if you've had a really great week and we're at the end of the month. Um, Sometimes, I don't know, the trading gremlins are out there to grab your ticks back. So Friday's a good day to just be cautious about your trading. Anyway, we've had the indices sure went up overnight. All four of them did, and they have been pretty choppy. But the general idea is that they're down. The real movers today have been the U.S. dollar and the euro. And for some reason, that I have no idea right now, the Aussie dollar and the yen have just really dropped down into the bargain basement area. So for the people who like to trade Nadex, I would remind you again to be sure and check the Apex website because Daryl posts trades in there on that news tab that are really relevant to the international news that affects uh, these various currencies. And he's got the times that you enter and everything. I mean, it's very, very nice. And while you're doing that, if you don't have this, what do you call this? It's this clock, alarm clock, hot alarm clock or something, free alarm clock. There's a link to it on the website, but that is a great thing to remind yourself of. Uh, you can put, you can make a audio alarm on it, but it pops a little notice up in front of you. And one of the things that I suggest you do is note the times that Daryl's doing his radio shows, because he literally puts on trades right there on the show lots of times. If he finds one, he definitely calls it, puts it on right in front of your face. Um, and Jack has been great about putting a notice in here on Friday to remind people, but and I really appreciate that, Jack. There's a lot of people um, that just would not. You get busy and you're looking at other things and you just don't catch stuff like that. But between Jack and the alarm clock feature or gadget or whatever you call it, then yeah, you get great tips in that radio show. And Daryl is, I mean, he's really good. I don't know anybody better with Nadex. So be sure, and I don't know if any of you have ever noticed when he does demos and he's got his demo account on Nadex. Now, granted, it's been a few, it's been more than a week or two or a month and even a year. But those are demo trades. If you've ever noticed what his net profit is on that demo account, you might want to take notice of that because it's pretty impressive. We've had the VIX backing off a little bit. Looks like it might finish the week under 20. That would indicate to us that maybe the bears aren't quite as strong as they thought they were for a while. Certainly, first part of January, they were well in control. And Brent has it's still trading. It's trading almost $36 right now, so it's trading about $2.80 premium to West Texas. And next week we've got not a lot of news on Monday and Tuesday. Monday morning, as Canadian dollar has got some news coming out at 8:30, which shouldn't do too much to our indices. Depending on how the Canadians perceive that, though, it might affect crude oil. Tuesday is not too much. Again, at 8:30, and U.S. some economic numbers at 10. On Wednesday, we've got non-farm employment and crude oil inventory at 10:30, and these economic numbers pick up a little bit later in the week, Thursday and particularly Friday. Next Friday, I'd be real careful about taking a trade right at 8:30. So, having said that, let's see. I've got a couple questions in here. How I am exiting on the trades I posted. Let's see. I marked these. Let me get that chart and then I'll show you, because it's the one that's marked. This is my old, I refer to it as my old gray chart, but I like this chart. And the only thing I trade off of this kind of a chart is crude oil, but I think it's because I feel comfortable with it because it's what I learned on. So, okay, that I got out at 40 ticks on this second trade that I posted. Yeah, the reason I did that is because my ATM, I have it defaulted to 40 ticks. That doesn't mean I'm not going to bring it down to 20 ticks if it appears that it's not going to give that to me. But typically, crude oil will give you, off of an E, typically, it will give you 40 ticks, at least 40. Sometimes it goes more, but that's the standard default on mine, and I will try to hold out for that. The second thing I would tell you is when it started, this trade started early, right around 8 o'clock. It messed around right in here, but there's plenty of time to take this after it formed an E. Don't get in a hurry. There's nobody's going to blow the whistle and take it away from you or whatever. But there's plenty of time to observe this thing and see if it really looks like it's going to go on through this. There's a magnet here at 33.50, and that is also the high of prior day right there. This is one of those things. I also keep a 6-tick diagnostic chart up on crude oil, and I like that for trade management and sometimes entries. So this to me is definitely a good entry. You've also got the deviation mountain starting to climb right here. It's starting to get with the program, and that coupled with the 6-tick and the 30-minute chart over here right around 8 o'clock, that's to me is a viable trade. This could have been taken on up, and I thought about that, but crude oil very frequently goes right to the top of the range channel. And if you trail your stop much tighter, real tight, you might be able to follow it up and squeeze another 5-10 ticks out of it. But when it starts to run out of steam, it will put one of these long bars in here, and generally it'll stop you out. So I'm 65 ticks on crude oil. When it gets past 55, 50, 60. Just consider yourself, that's great, fine, thank you very much, I'll take it. Don't push it, because if you do, it's going to come back and bite you. It's not going to go forever and ever and ever. If I were a much braver trader, taking this down right here with this trend catcher, and it's also coming off of the on the 30-minute. I put these zones up here. I think Craig pointed that out. That's a great tip, Craig, to put these on the 30-minute. These institutional zones. It's coming right off of here. Those, I kind of like that. And yes, I know if you trail your stop with the MVP and keep it, 2 or 3 ticks above, you wouldn't have gotten stopped out until right down here. You know what? On Friday, with this thing bouncing around, and I don't think so. That's not my cup of tea. So somebody else, hey, that is a very successful trade, and the indicators just work beautifully. I mean, they told you right all the way, but that's not my thing. So this is also, while your brain tells you that the indicators all work and they will definitely point the way, some trades you just may not be comfortable with, and that's fine. And on the other hand, some days you will miss trades that you look back and say, oh, gee, I wish I'd taken that. Well, that's life in trading. Also, I would caution you, if you get 60% of one of these moves right here, you're doing just fine. You are never going to get the whole exact amount of this and that. And sometimes people that are new to trading look at that and they say, well, gee, if I would have, well, you know what? 60% of a move, that's a really nice trade. Take your ticks, put them in the bank, and be happy. Okay? Be happy. So I think, I also wanted to point out to you something. We've had a lot of choppy mornings this week. Choppy mornings. I know I've mentioned this several times with crude oil, but I've started to pay more attention to the way the indices respond also. And I have found them to be a nightmare this last week to trade. It's just not the way I want everything to be nice and neat and tidy, and I want everything to line up, and I want to see the entry, and I want to know where the exit is before I ever get into the entry. And in chop, that's about impossible. But I've pointed out several times, especially on crude oil, that in the morning when it chops around, don't even fool with it. Wait until after lunch. Wait until the afternoon. And typically, you'll get a nice trend. And every day this week, I think, on the indices, while it chopped around in the morning and everybody's about ready to throw up their hands, come back about 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and start watching it around 3, and into that last hour, into the close, you can sometimes get really nice trends. So when you notice markets are choppy, don't even try to trade them. Go take care of other things, run errands, watch training videos, contribute to your education, and then check back later. That's also a good way to keep yourself out of trouble. So, I know, and Lori is Lori and her C's. C's, I call those candy trades. They were nice. Lori's really good with those things. I'm trying to learn how to be a lot better with them, but Anyway, this all takes a little time. I'm sure that's not a news flash to anybody. So I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful weekend, and we'll be back Monday morning ready to see what the markets can bring us. This has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you Monday.